What's going on YouTube? Today we got my SCX-10-1 back up on the bench for some upgrades, and I've done one little thing. The back off camera, you can see I got a license plate from RC Plate Shop. Ontario one, that's sensitive. That is the province I live in, which has all different kinds of states, countries, license plates. He has everything. So, in terms of license plates, it's cool. This is pretty much the same way you guys see it in the night run. Still dirty from that. There's still little. Now I believe, I don't know if you guys can see, I got all the tools to do what we're going to be doing today. I believe so. Obviously we got the most important, which is coffee. Most important tool right there. I already got the body pins off. Let's right up. Just a tad bit dirty. That wires from my lights that you can see dangling there. Okay. A little dirty. Got some dirt packed into some places, but I don't know what I want to start with. We're gonna start with axles. Yeah. I'm thinking we're gonna do axles first. So, before we get wrenching, I have purchased a set of these used off eBay, as you can see. This is, I can't speak. This is a Boom Racing SCX-10-1 housing, and it has the Vanquish aluminum lockouts on the ends here, similar to what, well, it's the same on what I have in the rear currently, just black instead of gray. And I believe it's all metal gears inside. You know what? I'm gonna blow these apart real quick. And here's the front axle again. Boom Racing housing. We have some Vanquish products. Steering knuckles. C-hubs, I believe they're Boom Racing as well. They could be Vanquish, but I'm not seeing the VP logo on them at all. So we're gonna say they're Boom Racing as well. I think I'm gonna blow these axles apart real quick, pack them with grease, and then we're gonna snap back to putting them on the truck, which I probably should have done that earlier so they can just go in, but you know how it goes. Okay, we got these axles nice and greased up. Well, sort of. I got one side off of the rear, and the other side really didn't want to come off. I did this side. This side didn't want to come off. I didn't do the front. I'm gonna trust him on that, which I should probably pull apart and grease it anyways, but we're just gonna roll with it. Now we can set these aside, knowing they're greased. And here, I'll pop these tires off. There we go. There's a little dirt from our night run that we did. And you can see my gray Vanquish aluminum lockouts on the back now. Well, on one side at least. Do I have the wrong end? Yes, I do. And also, we're going to be changing out that motor. Nothing wrong with it. It's just I'd like a little bit more wheel speed than what the 12 turn provides. Of course, I could always go some teeth up on the pinion, which that is a 24 tooth already. And it makes it a little difficult to make mesh with a big pinion in there and stock spur. Well, 10-1 stock spur anyways. Okay, now we got to drop this axle out. Push it here so I can get you guys in. Gotta take some coffee. You guys can see a little bit better. He's so far away. I believe I have a tuna. No, 2.5. Changing out that motor is going to be going back to having an external ESC, because that is a Hugwing Fusion SE 1200 kV, and the ESCs on the built into the motor, which this has really nice low end torque. The lower the kV number, higher the torque. The higher the kV number, the more wheel speed. So you gotta find out which you would like. More wheel speed or more torque? But I've been running that motor in there for a long time now. Its lifetime in this rig hasn't been all on camera, but it's been in there for a while. Same with the servo. I've had the servo in here for a year. It's still kicking butt. I did buy another servo for it, so once it does kick the bucket, I have one on standby. It doesn't seem like it's doing really well so far still. Oh, and let's talk about that comp that happened last weekend. That was fun. That was my first rock crawling competition. That was fun. It was a little bit rainy, so it made the rocks a bit slippery, but VRD carbon was definitely the way to go for that. The portals, the overdrive. The way I have it set up now is awesome. I have watched that comp back a few times, and come on now, and just could have been like, oh, I could have done this, and I could have blipped the throttle at this gate and made it come around quicker, or should have wiggled the servo there, or stuff like that. See things afterwards that you don't see when you're in the moment comping, because you're on a timer, you have everybody watching you, and you're being filmed sometimes. So, which is why I didn't go straight at gate 6. I went up and made it difficult. I went up and around to gate 6, which I should have just gone straight instead of dealing with going into the bushes, into the weeds. Actually, not. That doesn't need to happen. Okay, now we have the bottom portion loose. Switch this around, and then we just gotta get the, let's stay like that. If it will stay like that, that's a bonus. This screw here that holds these links, the upper links on, which that looks like a tool to me, man. Yep. Still a good time. It was raining during it, and we still, come on. Still ringing while it was raining. Wow. I'm gonna get a new nut for that end. It's seeing the end of its days. It's losing its edges. Yeah, we still, there it is. Yeah. I should probably get another nut. I've grabbed another nut from my hardware bin. Even with the rain, it was still fun. It wasn't like a torrential downpour, but which is good because then we wouldn't have not ran at all. It was on and off rain. I end up wiping out, trying to film people. It's wanting to go stop. It's wanting to keep going. But I'm alright. Elbow's a little sore from slipping on those slippery rocks, but I'm all good. I'm working on a new, I'm in the gathering parts stage for a new comp build. Yeah, I just got the VRD carbon not too long ago. Look how rusty that screw is. Rusty. Now, boom. This here. I need my 1.5. No, this is the incision end, so I need a 2 mil. I got third in that comp, which is, for a first comp, that's pretty dang good. First place, third place, I didn't get first. But third place, first ever comp, that's pretty darn good. And then, like I've said, I've watched that video back a few times, and I kind of know what to do in certain situations now. But yeah, here's the rear axle that we've been running for a while. Move that out. And here is the Boom Racing one with the Vanquish lockouts. I also think I broke, yeah, I broke this end where your wheel nut screws onto. I broke that, like, when I screw the wheel nut on, it's like flush with it. So at some point, I broke it. You can see that's how much longer that is compared to the other side. Broken. But it still functioned, so I still used it. I don't know where it broke, but now we just reverse the process of taking it out. Now we put it back in. The new one, of course, and there are metal gears in there too, so got some durability. Kind of figured that we should these are the top ones. Go with a little bit more durable parts, or stronger. It is definitely the 10-1 housing. Are definitely durable and big. So yeah, we're gonna slide this. It's not wanting to slide. $2 mil. There we go. Is it even coming through? No, it's not. I'm gonna get this rear end in. We'll be right back. And as you can see, the front axle is now on. I couldn't use the same link that goes from the servo horn to the steering knuckle because it was too short. And even this one, I've had to thread out a bit on either side. I mean, it has a fair bit of play. It is really, it's not the strongest thing, but it will do for now. And also had to get a new drag link as well, because these, I guess these are a bit wider than what the stock 10.2 ones are. 10.1, sorry. And the drag link is from the SCX 10.3 straight axle conversion kit, which I'm having that underneath opposed to on top with the link that goes to the knuckle that goes to the servo horn. So that is all in. Now for the reason why we went through changing these axles out. So this is just an Amazon special drive shaft. I don't really order too many parts from Amazon anymore. I've had bad luck with them. But this screw here no longer has the embed that you would stick your 1.5 into and unscrew. This got stripped. Then I tried to drill it out, which then broke the drill bit. So yeah, which led us into changing the axles out. Now I could have just done the front, but then it would have looked weird having the front aluminum and the rear plastic. Wouldn't really make sense. But now we move on to the fun stuff, which is changing this motor out. Like I said earlier, this is a Hobbit Fusion SE. This is just the 1200 kV. Good amount of torque. Definitely has that nice low speed torque to it. And I'm gonna drop the transmission out. And as funny as that sounds to change the motor, I like changing the mesh. Wow. Setting mesh on the transmissions outside of the vehicle makes it a little bit easier. instead of having to try to get a tool around everything. Now let's add a vehicle in. It's right there. And I'll show you what we got for electronics here in a minute. There's 3. The other one. Go. Oops. It's a little fuzzy. There we go. That might be a little bit better, I hope. And then now the transmission just left right on out. I lied because now we have to go. Actually, no, that should be fine. We're gonna have to go in the receiver box anyways. And there's 2.5 screws that hold the motor on to the motor plate. And we're not going to be running the 24 tooth pinion anymore. With what I have gotten used off eBay, I think that's going to be a little much. A little bit too much wheel speed. I want wheel speed, I want the power, but I don't want it too much to where it's ridiculous. Just enough to have fun. Where is the grub screw? There it is. And then that's 1.5. There we go. Grub screws off. And now pinion right off, motors out. We gotta go into the receiver box now which I'll bring it closer. Moving stuff around here. There we go. And then that should just be for 2 mils. Holding that on. Can't wait to run this thing with the new to me axles and motor and ESC. This thing should have a lot more power than what it has. And of course I could always go up in teeth on the pinion, and I could always run 3S instead of 2. But the 3S I have are like bricks of electricity. And we'll lay it down like that. I don't really want that. So I just run 2S in this thing. Okay. Now you can see the spaghetti mess that is my receiver box. I'm just putting these screws back into the holes of the receiver box top lid. And now I have to find the motor wire. There we go. Oh, fail. I forgot I zip tied the battery leads to the front of the battery tray. I got one off camera real quick. Now I just gotta deal with this one. There we go. Oh, both of those went in perfect. Now here it is. Here is the motor that I've been running in this thing for quite some time now. Like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, just wanting a little bit more power than what this currently has. The ESC is just this end bit here on the back side of the motor, which makes for really nice, smooth, slow crawls, like what you've guys seen in the past with this motor. Just gonna put this here, move this onto the floor. Now we can bring the transmission over, which this is just a Vanquish 3-gear with the stock 10-1 spur, which I believe is an 87, 78. It's one of those two. And we're saying goodbye to the 24-tooth pinion that I've been running in this thing for quite some time as well. Instead, we got a Castle Slate brushless 4-pole motor, and it is 3800 kV. Something that's censored. Where is it? I'm pretty sure it's 3800 kV. Yeah, 3800 kV for a pole brushless censored motor. And of course, the ESC, which is a Mamba X. Which I don't know if this person has the censored wire on here. Interesting. I see JSTs. I believe those are for BECs or direct power. I don't think I'll need a direct BEC with what servo I'm running. At least I don't think I will. And the fan on top as well. So that's what it's going to be replacing the 1200 kV motor. And we should get a lot more wheel speed, and the pinion we're going to put on, which I think still might be a little much, is just this little 20 tooth. Alright, we're going to take our motor here, third rusty motor screws, get this, the holes all lined up. I should probably get my 2mm ready. That's a 1.5, that's never going to work. There we go. I can't really see any other time except for right now. Okay, there we go. And I've put a new Amazon special drive shaft to replace the one that was for the front, so that I can get rusty all over again. There we go. And then we're gonna loosen this up so I have room to slip on our pinion, and you're gonna want to put that on the flat spot on your motor shaft, because if you don't, then you have a good chance of your pinion coming off, or it will come off. I've learned that the hard way. Come on. There we go. It was snowing. Went with my biter off park, which is where I shoot a lot of my videos, because it's just a convenience. It's like on the other side of town from me, so it just works, and I don't have to worry about my phone dying on me and not being able to use Google Maps to get my way home. But now I'm taking my wireless charger with me, so it doesn't matter as much. There we go. Alrighty. Now we can set motor mesh. That's a fancy looking Deans. Haven't seen that before. Now it's just easy as ABC. A, B, here's C. I just double checked to make sure my battery was gonna go on that connector, which it should. And the AC was left on, so that's good. Okay, I should probably take these drive shafts off. This is an incision steel drive shaft, which uses a 2mm screw, and that goes to the inputs of the transmission or outputs. Make sure you guys can't see shit. It's off. And then Amazon Special uses a 1.5. Yes, I have an Amazon drive shaft going to a Vanquish transmission. Now I need a battery. Making room. Quick coffee break. Unless I can give you guys back some. These two, which I believe go to, I think one's for, I don't know what the other one's for. It's just white one. There's no other wires, just white. So if you guys know what that is for, let me know down below in the comment section, because I have no idea. And if I even need to plug that in. Well, I guess we were going to find that out in a minute. I'll plug it in anyways, but this is my first Castle system, so I have no idea if that needs to be plugged in at all or not. Okay. There we go. Get you guys a better angle here. That's better. Now battery. I hate that noise. Hate it. Coffee break. Transmission like this. And you would know if you have your motor mesh too tight, because it will sound god awful. Oh. Helps if I have my radio. Take two. There. Now I can get the motor mesh set. I have lost my 2 point. There it is. This is my 2. Yes, it is. This just makes setting motor mesh, in my opinion, way easier than when the transmission is inside the vehicle. Just trying to get that little bit of a gap in between the pinion and the spur, or you can use the old school trick of just sliding a piece of paper in between the two. That sounds like it has some power. I'm pretty sure that's okay. It's not making any god awful noises that I don't like. Sounds happy. Maybe a little bit tighter. There we go. Let's see how slow I can get it to go. Interesting. Yeah, that's a good amount of power. It just doesn't have the censored wire hooked up to it, which I believe is this. But from other pictures I've seen of the sensor wire, it's black. So I am a little confused with that part. Or does it need an adapter? Okay. By this nut thing in here, I believe it needs the adapter for the censored wire, so she's going to be censored less for a bit. So now all this has to go back in into my 10-1. And yeah. So we turn everything off. Fan wasn't running, which was interesting. It sounded like it's on where it needs to. And I guess that could stay plugged in. That can stay plugged in. I am warm. I'm going to turn on my fan real quick, if you guys don't mind. Woo. A little toasty. Okay, now I'm going to use some Resource Circle Tape to fasten the ESC down, which is good stuff. Definitely recommend it. If you have the means to pick it up. It's on Reese website, and I don't know if you can in any hobby stores, which I have not been in, because there is none here. So I'm thinking... I don't know. Just excited that this is in. Dress straps are gonna have to go on, obviously. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, I'm going to put this all together, back together. I'm not gonna be doing anything important, just bolting the drive shafts back on, putting the lid to the receiver box on, fastening the Mamba X down, and yeah. See you guys on the trail after this, if this video isn't too long already.